I have problems now in my life. It's very bad, or it can be good also. I don't know really. And it is Friday, June 16, 2023. And I'm going to start what happened for, I think it was 2 days ago, when I was sitting outside in my scooter and talked to my Muslim neighbor upstairs. And I sit outside our house and talk to him. And one thing he said, it was about going in the winter time now to the winter. He said, you can go to Egypt, he said, because that's not winter there. But I'd be surprised when he say you can go to Egypt to be there. And then we're talking about normal things, and suddenly it come up 4 boys about 15 years old, Arabic boys, and they could go on the side of me. It was a big space there to could walk, but they walked to my scooter, and I know these young boys that is about 15 years old. Those is the worst of doing bad things in a society. And they come straight to me. And the strange thing was that I couldn't drive away or walk out from the scooter and walk away, because the 2 was on my one side and 2 was on the other side of my scooter. So they hold me like that. And I was prepared to get hit in some way, either in the face or with a knife stabbing me. I was prepared to that. And the strange thing was that I felt like a shield was on my chest and in my back also when they come. It was like a protection, invisible protection, but I felt it. And those boys, they didn't harm me, but they was talking to each other in the way that I should hear them. And my neighbor, he sit in the stairs and talking to me, and he asked, what did they say to you? He say, so it was a message for me, but not for him. And I say that they say that I was like a glue into the ground. They say that in a bad way, like stupid woman, like that, in that way. And what I have, and it including this with the last chapter, what my friend was sending me about what he hear from God and talking to me. And these things that happen, I knew I was out too late, because no one that is not criminal is not out. I was out about 10 o'clock in the evening. Now in Sweden, is it light up to 10 o'clock? So I was out because it was warm weather and it was light, and I was out and was not thinking about this, that evil could come. And it belonged to what happened to me yesterday, because I was to the doctor, my new doctor, and I go to take water. My new doctor, a young man, about 30 years old, and he had the diabetes nurse with him in the room. And I understood that they need to be two people, as they think I am mental sick. So it can be dangerous to be on their own with me. So the doctor asked me many things, and the whole time was it like she's mental sick. And I say about this Jerusalem with the DNA, that I heard in the air about DNA, and then he said to me, "Do you hear voices?" And I very quick told him that I don't hear voices. And so he maybe thought it was a people that was talking, those people in the museum that was talking. So I heard it because I didn't say anything more about it. I have a little hard with the voice. And then the doctor, he was confused. He didn't know what to do with the medicine. And I have forgotten that here in Sweden, if the doctor hears something that can be dangerous for me or for other people, then they are, when they start their work, they have to tell what it is, government or health department, that if we say something that can be a problem. And I have forgotten it because I knew that when I was, I have been to the school to be a nurse, so we talk about that. But that was 1974, so of course I have forgotten it. I have not heard it since then, and I was thinking, do we still have this? So we have it, and I told the doctor that I was out far away from our city with my scooter, and I suddenly the brain stopped to working, and I was driving over some streets. But I say I was lucky that there was no traffic, because it was in an area of low traffic as I was out from the city. And he remind me, and he say that to me, that when you say that, I need to report you, that your brain can stop working. And that means that he if he reporting me, then I lose my scooter. But I have been in that situation before, that bad things have going good. Like when the car drive over me, I got that scooter, and then I got my new home with my own garden. So much better. I could drive away out, far away. And if I don't have the scooter, I can't do that. What I can do is to take the taxi to one place and then stay there in that place. That's the only thing I can do if I don't is allowed to have the scooter. But the good things can be that I get someone walking with me to help me. And then I say to the doctor that I don't get any help from the city because I have no diagnosis. I say that's the main thing now for me to get a diagnosis, I say to him. And he say that he couldn't do that because they do the investigation of me in the healthcare. It sounded like the police when he was talking like that. And he said that you can tell them about your bad blood sugar, he say, so to get help. And so I will do it. And I asked him if they denied me because my blood sugar is not enough to have a diagnosis about. Then he said that I should talk to him to give another diagnosis to get help. And I have not had any help in 4 years since I was drive over. I got just when I get the broken arm, and now I know I broke my right knee also. But I get only 10 minutes that they come and help me, and that is not much when you have the whole problem. And I got it 2 times in a week, 10 minutes. So I asked my neighbor to help me to cut up bread and those things to cut up so I could make food for me. And the last time I got help from the city was when I should clean up my bed. And I couldn't do that with the right arm. Shoulder was broken in 3 pieces. So I couldn't. And I asked the help to help me, and she had to call her manager, supervisor, um, if she could stay a little longer with me and make the bed. So that was it for me, when she had to call and ask when I was so disabled. So I didn't do that again, and I maybe don't need to have them, any help from them now either, when they couldn't help me when I was the worst. And I don't know what will happen. I am thinking about Jesus, that when he was judged in the court, and they asked who to let free, and Barabbas was the one that people say let him go, but Jesus didn't. They didn't let Jesus go, so no one helped Jesus, and he died, or he walked away from everything. And I am in that situation that no one helped me, no people helped me, and I can, if it's be something very bad, they can force me to come into the mental hospital, because I hear from heaven, and I could tell him that I didn't hear voices when I met the doctor, but they are going to do a decision about me later on in next week. And of course someone is going to find this podcast, and there they see that I hear from heaven, but they think I am mental sick in that way. Because here in Sweden, is it not much about God? People don't believe in God. And all over the world, they think that God doesn't talk to people. And especially as a woman, God doesn't speak to me. So it can be very much problem now that they take me into the mental hospital, and they can lock me in there for a long time. And I can deny pills. I need to say that, even if the doctor hear it. But injection, they can force me to take injections. So it can be very much trouble. But I'm going to do the same thing that, I don't know, but it was Saul and someone else was going to Cyprus. They were going into jail. They were locked in, and they were not going angry. They sat down, and then they were praying to God, and they were singing to cheer them up in that situation. So I need to think about that. If they lock me in without any reason, but that the doctor say that I'm mentally sick, then I need to sit there. And today is it that In the worst case, I am not allowed to have the computer with me. They have done that. Take away telephones and computers. So I maybe don't reach you for a long time because they have locked me in a mental hospital. It was in the old time before the Muslims came to in big groups of Muslims come to Sweden. Was it like 80% of the Swedish people didn't believe in God, and they believe in those other. They believe in the nature like that, walking in the forest and hug a tree to be God. And so they are still today, that they don't believe that God is talking today to people here, and at least here in Sweden. So I need someone to step up for me, to come to my rescue, or else I will be like Jesus. I maybe need to stop to recording podcasts because I am in prison, in mental health clinic, because of that I hear from those in the in the afterlife. And I'm thinking because my church is not going to help me. But in that way they can help me in that I am in the church. So I can talk about hearing from God in that way. But I think it's not going to help me very much. I maybe need to leave Sweden. People that come from other countries, they can come into Sweden because of that we have religion freedom. But I'm wondering how it will be with religion freedom in Sweden and going out. Maybe is it a country where I can go, where they have the real religion freedom. And being in the Mormon church, I belong to the Christian groups in that way, so that it can help me in, and afterlife maybe helping me in that way, that I belong to that church. I don't know. I am very close. I can see Denmark from my house. So that's where I can run to first to hide me. But they will take me from Denmark to the mental hospital here in Sweden, because they have a union together in that way. And the whole European Union have this, that they can help to get people. And you say this, that they have a bigger problem